wrestling fans, and welcome back to another edition of NBC's 10 Count. I'm Steve Fall, but on today's episode, very special guest, AEW's new signee, Athena. How you doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing double thumbs up because I'm here with you talking right now, and you got an amazing Super Mario 3 poster behind you.
Yeah, this is my stream room, kind of where I Twitch from and everything. We have Pumpkinhead, Charizard, Super Mario 3, a little wrestling buddy of my husband. We have a little bit of everything in here, and it extends all the way around the room.
Outstanding. Now, what, I guess out of the Super Mario Brothers, the original for regular Nintendo, 3 your favorite?
I like Tanuki. I like my Trash Panda Mario. I don't know. It's the one I play in with Mario Kart all the time. Though I wasn't really good at Super Mario. I don't think a lot of normal people are good at Super Mario.
Normal people?
Yeah, well, there are some that have just like, I don't call them normal because AI kicks in and it's just like, this is the worst game ever. And I'm very certain I've broken many of SNES back in the day and NES and just never got good.
Yeah, the controller, I remember playing a lot, and my parents would be like, if you're not gonna, calm down, you can't play. I'm like, you don't understand. This lava level doesn't make any sense.
So, absolutely. Oh, I'm right there with you. I really.
Yes. The anger management of children from the 90s to now is a whole different story. People don't understand the struggles. You have to pause, go to school, and come back and play. It wasn't this saving.
What is saving? What is memory? I remember like having to throw clothes on every like console I had because we didn't have the memory cards and be like, Mom, please don't turn it off. Please don't turn it off. Please don't turn it off. And then you would have to start over if it got turned off.
Game Genie, all these inventions from the 90s that people are like, wow, just hit boop, save, boop, boop, save. No, it was a struggle. They don't understand it was a struggle. But let's talk about wrestling. That's what we're here to do.
Absolutely.
Your Super Mario 3 poster inspired me, so I had to dive in because obviously you Twitch, your streamer, all that good stuff as well. How did your deal with AEW come together? Like, who reached out to who to make this relationship happen?
I honestly don't know. I know that sounds crazy. I feel like it was one of those things as soon as I got released, or mutually parted ways, whichever way you want to have it there. It was like, man, I don't know how to get in contact with them, but I gotta get in contact with them. And I had told my agent, I was like, hey, I'm really interested in going there. I really want to go there, and it's kind of like a combination of we reached out and they reached back. And it was like a 6-month, are we interested? Are you interested? Because I think when I left, I didn't really know if I wanted to continue wrestling. I just knew that like, I loved and enjoyed watching the AEW product at home, watching the pay-per-views, watching just everything. I'm like, oh, this looks like so much fun. And then I'd be like, I don't know. So I had a couple matches on the indies and just those blew up. Shane Strickland, Taya Valkyrie, Mia Yim, and it just kept getting more and more traction. And I think like we finally like just kind of hit the double tap on the phone call, and it was like, yeah, let's figure out something. Let's do this. And I was like, I think I've fallen in love with this all over again. I think this is okay for me to do this. I think it's like perfect for me because a lot of people don't know I was on the indies for 10 years before I signed with WWE. I went all over the world and I did the grind for the hot dog and the handshake, as we used to say.
That was a good hot dog, I guess, right?
Yeah, the hot dog, the handshake, the weird third brand soda that they always have, the RC Cola.
Do you have Coca-Cola? No, we have the store brand.
What store? It depends.
Yeah.
It was 10 cents for the can. What? You got it that cheap?
Which store? And I'll go there now.
Exactly. But yeah, I traveled all over the world. And so like I had made a name for myself on the indies, and like doing that all over again. I mean, yeah, the WWE, all of those accolades were there, but like it felt like I was starting from ground zero again and just starting all over and building myself back up. And I was like, oh, I love this. And then I'd sit at home and I'd find out that I was wrestling like Janae Kai or Oh my gosh, like, or Shazza McKenzie and Sky Blue. And I was like, and I'd start like getting these ideas. I'm like, oh, what if we do this? What if we do this? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, I love this again. I love this. And I'm up here watching backyard wrestling, all of this stuff, trying to get like crazy ideas to do dumb stuff. And it just kind of came naturally, to be honest with you.
So at one point, do you feel like, you just mentioned a couple times, do you feel like your love was stomped out for wrestling and you needed to step away for it to be built back up?
I do, right? So like it became work. And I think like a lot of people will hopefully understand what I mean by that. Like, we have the craziest, coolest job in the world where no day is the same when you walk in. It's constantly changing, chaos, and something about that drew me to it. But over the course of like 6-7 years with WWE, it became work, and it became, okay, what do we got to do? Okay. And I wasn't so much passionate as much as I was like wanting to do a good job. If that makes sense. And so when I like left, it was like I got to sit at home for 3 months and just kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And I didn't necessarily know if I wanted to wrestle again. It was just like, okay, because I was afraid that I would go like, and it would feel like work. And so like on some level, yeah, I feel like the passion was sucked out. And it wasn't that I didn't care. It was just like, it wasn't for me. It was like, okay, we got to pay bills. We got to go out there and work, like, which no one likes that, that means like when you get on the plane, you're like, oh, I got to get on this plane. I gotta go. Okay. Hotel. Right. And like, I find that I've been with AEW for a few weeks now, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't wait to get on the plane. Like, which is a weird thing because no one likes TSA. No, but I'm like, oh my God, I get to get on the plane. Oh my God, like we have training. Oh my God. Like, and I'm like eager to get on the plane, which my husband's like, you're already packed like the day before
at the door.
And I'm like, I'm ready to go. And he's like, this is bizarre. Like, who are you? Who are you not waking up at 3 a.m. throwing stuff in a bag for a 4 a.m. flight?
Of course.
It's like I'm packed 2 days early. I'm like, I got A, B, C, D. All right, my gear's clean. This is here. All right, we'll take 8. Like, to the point where I'm 2 weeks ahead of my packing schedule, which is weird. But when
it's good to be ahead of schedule.
Yeah, I'm never ahead of schedule.
I have a book of like everything I hate to do. So it's a schedule. This time. So I'm obsessive with time management. That's me, at least.
See, I'm that way on a last minute schedule, right? Because like I find that when I pack too early, I forget things, which is why I pack last minute, because the panic seeps in and it's like a time trial. You're like, okay, I got kick pads, knee pads, gear. Wait, this gear doesn't fit. Whew, that gear ain't clean. Whew, fuck. 12 minutes, excuse my language, but like 12 minutes to the airport. All right, gotta be in the car by this time. But I'm really good on a last minute schedule.
There are some items you can buy last minute, like toothbrush, deodorant. There are things you can just be like, boop, pick that up. But your kick pads, your gear, obviously something you can't be like, go to 7-Eleven and be like, excuse me, do you not have Athena themed gear here in the Dorito section?
No, you can't get those, like, to the point where I remember being the surprise for WrestleMania and I forgot to pack shoes. So I forgot to pack my wrestling shoes. So I'm wearing like baby blue sneakers at WrestleMania.
You gotta do what you gotta do,
You gotta do what you gotta do. So
let's go through your day at your debut, AEW Double or Nothing. Now, we have seen stories of wrestlers making their debuts for multiple companies, whether hidden inside trailers or you sit at your hotel, you have a fake name, fly into there. What was your day like? Are you being hidden all day from your friends and colleagues?
So I'll go through the week with you because I feel like that's more interesting. Okay. So I was actually in Vegas on Tuesday. Because my best friend Veda Scott got married and I was her maid of honor. So I'm out there, cut my hair off, like I was like, short hair, walking around, and like there's a ton of AEW fans everywhere. And they're like, oh my God, Veda Scott, Mike Bailey, what's up? And I'm standing right here like, oh my gosh. And they didn't know I was coming back. I didn't tell anyone. I'm there for their wedding and they're like, why don't you stay? I'm like, oh, I gotta go back home. Because if I was in Vegas that entire time, I definitely would have been discovered by someone eventually, right?
Right, of course.
So I go home for like a day and a half, and then I go to St. Louis for Warrior Wrestling to defend my title on Saturday. hop on the first flight out of St. Louis, go back to Vegas. And I get in at like 8, 9 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to go to the baggage claim for my airline. I'm going to go to the other one. Right. And now I'm telling all my secrets. So now maybe, but I get lost. I get very obviously lost and turned around because I'm terrible at navigating airports. And I end up in the big baggage claim. And all I see is piles and piles of AEW fans like stalking out the baggage claims with their binoculars. Like, there has to be someone here. And they're like, I'm gonna ruin.
I imagine like in the baggage claim, everyone really with like that and like the telescopes, like, oh,
right, like, or I feel like that's the case, but like they were searching.
Yeah, of course.
And so like I feel like, one, because like I don't think anyone knew that I was coming, and 2, I'm 5'1", so I can blend. So I get in the biggest crowd that I possibly can, and I get in the middle, and I'm like head down, like I have like my glasses on, my mask on, my like I'm trying to hide my hair to where it looks black, and I'm like, in some kind of way I make it through like 12 fans. Some kind of way I walk straight to the taxi, hop in, I get to the hotel. Because I didn't check in, they gave away my room. So they put me at a different hotel that isn't the TV hotel. I get there, my hotel has been given away. So I'm sitting in the lobby and I'm like, this is weird. And like the travel team at AEW was like, oh no, this is late. They tried to call, they were like, hey, we bought this room the day before, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, well, you should have called. And I'm sitting here like, oh no, someone is going to notice me, because I was in that lobby for like an hour or 2 as we were trying to figure it out. And I'm just head down, just like, oh my gosh, this is the worst, and eventually they were like, okay, we're sending a car for you, we're gonna put you up at the hotel where everyone else is at. And I'm like, how is that going to work?
Right.
Because once again, AEW fans, or just wrestling fans in general, are really good about ruining surprises for themselves.
Yes, they are. So, some people run businesses that do that.
Yeah, so they take me through like the basement level, and they're like, just, here's your room key, go up, and I think they put my room name under someone else, and they're like, all right, go up the elevator, you're on this floor. And I get in the elevator and I'm like, and it stops on the lobby level, and 3 AEW fans get in. Like they had the Moxley shirts, Jericho Society shirts, and I'm like, how? And I'm just sitting there just like, and I remember they went to turn and look at me, and I start coughing. I just was like, and they're like, oh, let me show.
Oh God, please. Don't get that on me.
I remember they went to look back, and I was like, I was like, and they were like, oh my gosh, why did we get in this elevator?
They hit the button, get me out.
Yeah, so we get up, they like bolt out of the elevator, and I was like, they totally know who I am. It's like there's not a lot of
I don't know that.
And so managed to go all day without getting caught. They take me to the arena, and they shoved me in a back room. We get ready to do our segment, and I see Tony, and he's like, oh my God, I'm so happy you're here. Come here, I want to introduce you to someone. And he takes me over to Malcolm.
Oh my. And
we had no clue either one was there. We were like, oh, snap. He's like, yeah, but I'm representing Jade. I was like, oh. That's messed up, man. I thought
we had a connection here, and you just ruined it.
But like, so it was just really cool. And like, some people knew, which was like, I didn't tell anyone, but like, if you've known me, like Eddie Kingston was like, I know who that is. Like, like there were some people that knew who I was, but like most everyone was like, why didn't you tell me you were here? Like, and I was like, it would have gotten out if I told you.
Yeah.
So it was awesome. Look, I'm really good at trying to keep surprises, and surprises don't get spoiled with me, or at least I try.
Again, I didn't read anywhere. That was a big surprise, you showing up at AEW Double or Nothing. So if any one of those 3 people who saw you cough hysterically inside that elevator, they didn't spoil anything. And if they did, no one saw their tweets. So
Yeah,
You did
exactly.
your job.
But like, I wonder if they're like gonna listen to this back and then be like, oh, that was Athena in the elevator.
Right. And that's the thing is there's no pictures, there's no video. They can tell that story all they want. That was me in the elevator. They'd be like, you have no proof.
Like 24 people are gonna come up and be like, that was me. I was there. It's like,
I was coughed on.
The math on this does not add up.
Yeah. The capacity is 12 people. How were you all 24 in there with the person coughing the whole time? Yeah. But after you made your debut, obviously you had some sort of a feeling of euphoria because you come out there, people are going crazy. It wasn't a like, oh, it's so good to see you back. No, they were going buck wild. How did that make you feel?
I feel like I don't know to this day. Like, I never expect people to react to me. And I feel like,
why is that though?
I don't know. Maybe it's confidence issues.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, I genuinely just never know what the reaction is going to be. And you've been in some places where they'll boo you and you're like, well, I'm supposed to be the good guy. Like when I was at Brooklyn 3, I got booed out of the building on my entrance. And I was like, well, this is nice, you know? And so you just never know the reaction and what that's going to be. And like, mind you, like to a lot of people, no one knows who Athena is. You know, everyone knows the other character,
right?
You know, and like, unless you really knew me on the indies, you don't know who Athena is. Athena is brand new to a lot of people. And I know the fallen goddess line hit and that place erupted. And I was like, I'm going to walk down to the ring all cool and stuff and just saunter my way. And then like, I just felt it in my body. I started slapping my chest. I just like turned into like a rabid animal going down the ramp because I was genuinely so happy and just feeding off the energy of the audience. And like, there's no feeling like it. There's no way to describe it. And it's just kind of like not knowing what the reaction was going to be, having everyone being like, you're going to be fine. It's going to be great. Then like, and I'm holding my stomach because my stomach's in knots. I don't know if I'm going to puke from the anxiety of not knowing. And then it happens and it's like, oh my God, they remember who I am. Oh my God, I'm not a joke. Oh my God, this is amazing. And just feeding off that energy. And I remember like when I signed to AEW, I told my husband, I was like, no more tears. Like, this is the place for me. No more tears. And I remember like after, you know, we had our big standoff with the baddies and Jade. And, you know, I remember just like standing and facing like the camera and just like feel like I got a little teary eyed. And I just like remember just grabbing my chest. It was like, you promise yourself no more tears. You can't do this here. And it's like the first time in a long time I've just like gotten just so filled with like happiness and raw emotion that I was just like, no tears, you promise, no tears. And like it just like I felt it in my core. And like there's just genuinely no way to describe it other than just like I was so happy and so surprised and just I don't know. It was fantastic. I want to relive it over and over again.
That would be nice to bottle that and sell it, wouldn't it? It could be a Yankee Candle scent. Oh, AEW debut.
Oh, yes.
Oh, it smells so good.
Oh, raw emotion. Yes.
Yeah,
this candle can be yours for 299 euros.
I was gonna say, excuse me. That's I don't know how much that is, but that's too much for me. Also, though, so where were you? Were you like again? We brought up you were at the hotel, and all these things happen. Are you somewhere hidden? And then they're like, "All right, it's time for you." Someone knocks on your door, and you give the whole Goldberg treatment, and they bring you through, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, there she is! Oh my God, what are you doing here?" And then you come out.
So I think, like, I'm trying to remember where. Like, I got moved to like 3 different rooms because they were like, "Oh crap, we gave the extra. We thought the secret was here. We gave that room to somebody else," and they're like, go in this room." And so it was like. I don't know what's it was like 3-card Monty with the doors for a while. It was like, is it this one? Yes, go here. And then like 5 minutes later, like, we gotta move you, ma'am. And it's like so it was great, but I ended up being like stashed in the back. Like I had a later call time to just kind of avoid eyes and stuff as well. Yeah, so that like I think I was stashed in like a production room or something. I couldn't tell you. I switched rooms, but like they had me in a back room. They were like, it's time. They sent this lovely lady to make sure my makeup wasn't falling off my face because it's Nevada and it just the heat was melting me. And yeah, just go out and Goldberg style, like they're like, all right, you might want to put a hood up. I was like, I think we're okay now.
I think, yeah, if someone tweets literally 10 seconds before you walk out, it's not going to break the internet. It's going to be like, oh, that was maybe their time delay when they're watching it on TV.
Exactly. So like, it was just like, okay, we got this. And like the mall walk, it's just no. And like the match is ending and they're like, all right, you ready? I'm like, oh my gosh, it's happening so quick.
Like, what? Get out there. Ah!
No.
Slap chest.
Slap chest. Yeah. Smile, be happy.
Smile. That's awesome, though. That's so great to hear that you're so much happier than you previously were. And again, everything's going well for you. One person who recently announced they were also going to be done with WWE, Paige, her contract ends July 7th. And she said she eventually could participate in wrestling because it seems like everyone who's injured eventually comes back because of just time heals all. Mm-hmm. Is that someone you'd love to see join up with you in AEW?
Absolutely. Like I tell people all the time, it's like everyone says the women's evolution started with the Bellas. No. I highly disagree. It started with Paige and Emma.
Yes, thank you.
Paige and Emma, or Tennille and Saraya, whatever name you want to call them, it started with them. That was the first like mainstream women's match that got time, that made people like want more. And like knowing that she's capable of that, not to mention like seeing her story in the movie, and like I've wrestled her mom on the indies before and just got my ass handed to me, excuse my language, but like, of course, like she's someone I've always wanted to wrestle with. Like I actually rolled around with her when she was training to come back. Like she is an invaluable superstar, like in her own right. And it doesn't matter what brand label's on there. She is absolutely phenomenal, whether she's going to be a mouthpiece, whether she's able to get back in the ring. Like any company would be like stupid not to try to snatch her up.
I think her eventually returning to wrestling anywhere would be beneficial to whatever company snacks her up. But I think AEW would be a smart move again, because there's something that to be added to the women's division in AEW. And I think you definitely bring that. So does Toni Storm and Mercedes Martinez, a lot of people coming over, helping it. And what can you bring to that division? Your experience and your desire to help others?
Absolutely. Like, I feel like it's a little different for me because like, I've been doing this almost 16, 17 years. I lose track, but like, I try to strive to be different. Right. And I think that that's like what a lot of women now are striving to do and bring different elements. So if I see people do pile drivers, I'm like, I'm going to do 450s to the outside because why not? I can, and it's just bringing different elements and striving, going out and being different, not only with the experience, because like AEW's women's division is young, but they are hungry. They are hungry, let me tell you. And I think that they produce such individuality. No two girls are the same. Right? Like we have a Sky Blue and an Anna Jay, one's in the Dark Order, one's the girl next door. We have Abaddon.
I love me some Abaddon.
We have Britt Baker, DMD, the baddies, but everyone is so different and has their own personality that I think when you bring these women in, like Toni Storm, myself, Mercedes Martinez, we only elevate that. And like it's already there. They're already like, if you look at day one AEW and then look all the way to now.
Oh yeah.
Like it's hard to learn on TV. And I think all of these women have aggressively taken advantage of that whole learning process and they're striving on it.
Of course. Yeah. And who have you been most impressed with when you were watching AEW at home? Like a women wrestler, a men's wrestler, who have you been impressed with?
Oh man, like let me tell you, I have the like biggest admiration for Phoenix and Sarah Romero. Like I love watching them, but I've loved watching them for years. Like, but I'm just happy they're on my TV. As far as like the women go, there's so many, right? Because like you have Statlander, you have Jade Cargill, you have the baddies, you have so many women, you have Thunder Rosa, you have Britt Baker, you have all of these women that like we've never gotten to see before. And like technically, like even though I've known some of them on the indies, I've wrestled a few of them, like they're homegrown AEW TV talent, right? And it's so awesome to see so many women just grow on TV into their characters, into their wrestling ability. And like none of them have even peaked, not even close to peaking yet, which is crazy when you look at it. But like the women's division as a whole, like I don't know, like I find sometimes that I'm like, okay, cool, Jericho's on TV, cool, great. But these women, let's see what we got over here. Like I feel myself just being drawn to them more. And maybe it's because I'm a woman, but like I genuinely don't know. Like, I feel like the entire division has impressed me as a whole. So I feel like it's unfair because there's 2 people in the ring, or 3 people, or 4 people. You have Nyla Rose, you have Riho, you have Hikaru Shida. Like, you have all of these women. So I can't just say it's one, because we've been given so many beautiful Serena Deeb, like beautiful matchups that are so drastically different from the other ones.
Of course. And currently right now, it seems on TV, you and Jade have some beef going on, and the baddies, Kiera Hogan. It seems that there is some friction, and I'm not sure if it's wrestling friction or real friction between you, Jade, and the baddies. Can you elaborate more on that? Because the internet is going to make up rumors. So let's clarify. Is there beef for reals with you guys?
For reals? No. Like, or at least it's one-sided if there is. It's not on my end. You know, like I'm all about enhancing the match and making people want to watch, and people can lean into it if they want to. They can read into it because that's what the internet's going to do anyway. You know, that's what they're there for. Oh, did you see what she said? And I'm like, I'm so tired. I can't today. I have a life outside of Twitter. I can't. Right? Like I'm sitting at home on my day off and I find out I'm trending and I'm like, what did I do? I haven't been, you know.
Got her car washed. How dare she?
How dare she? How dare she go to the gym when
lunch
Twitter
at
is here?
1:30 in the afternoon.
So like on my side, absolutely. Like not. I don't care. I'm here to wrestle. I'm here to have fun. And if I can elevate the story in the process of a mediocre Twitter feud, sure. Why not? Like I said, it's very one-sided. Like even my bestie chimed in. I was like, girl, you need to stop. But it's fine. It's building the match, right? Because that's what everyone wants to see. Since we first started, that's actually how we met, by the way, was in Twitter. Me and Jade Cargill, she posted who's next. I was day drinking with my mom and I was like, why not? Let's see what happens, you know. And then she was like, oh, and then we just went into it there. And then like it's just been nonstop since then, which is awesome because like Jade is very dedicated to her work in the ring and her character outside of the ring, which I feel like so many people just do not focus on, right? It's not just what you do in the ring and how you do it in the ring. It's how you present yourself outside of the ring as well, which is why I was such a big fan of her. Like, because I look, the follow check mark wasn't there, but we were paying attention to everything at the time. And like, I couldn't follow people as well because that would have given it away immediately, because everyone likes to go check up on the socials and see who's following who, right? But like just seeing how she presents her character throughout social media, I think is very special, because it seems like she's just extremely dedicated to being that bitch, the baddies, everything. Even the baddies have adopted that mentality. I think a lot more people should. Right? Because that's what keeps everyone guessing. Is it real? Is it not? Ooh, they have beef. Ooh, did you see what she said? Oh, who chimed in on this? Oh, right? Because what we're doing is we're bringing more eyes into this feud.
Of course.
And that's what it's all about. It's getting y'all to watch, baby.
That's right. Putting butts in seats and watching people beat the crap out of each other. That's what this is all about. And making money, of course. What's your relationship with Tony Khan? Because if you're not liking him on Twitter, you must not like him, right?
What?
No. I said, what's your relationship like with Tony Khan? If you're not liking, if you're not following him on Twitter, obviously you don't like him, according to your theory.
Yeah, that's totally a fair assumption. No, you know, like Tony is extremely busy, but like my interactions with him have been like insanely different than that of my former boss, because he's just excited. He's pumped. He wants to get everyone pumped up as he is. And like, it's the first time, like, I think I had a show and he's like, oh, you can go if you want. And I was like, no, I want to, he's like just going up to every match, like, oh, let's go, let's get this. And I'm like, I've never had like that. Like, and it's just like energy on cloud 9 every step of the way. And like sometimes like the couple of days that I've been there, we're there for like 14 hours and like his energy doesn't drop. He's so motivating. He's so pumped about everything that's on the TV product, which I'm not used to on any level. It's like normally it's like, all right, go out there, blah, blah, blah. Cool. You know what you're doing. And then on the other end, you're getting Tony like, you pumped for this? You ready to go? And I'm like, yeah, let's go. Like, I feel, I don't know how to explain it. He's so high energy and so positive, but you just want to feed off that aura. Like, I'm like, I want that caffeine level you're at, but I'm afraid I might have a heart attack, sir. Because for 14 hours, not a drop. And he's just extremely appreciative, like that everyone is there. Like, yeah. I don't know how to explain it, but like so far I'm just like amazed. I could like people watch Tony all day long because like you want to like go like so much harder for him, like out in the ring and stuff. You're just like, yeah, he's pumped, he loves it.
So interesting you said it, because you brought up your former employee, and it's like maybe and Paul Heyman, I always hear the stories of him in ECW doing the same exact thing Tony Khan doing, pump up. The other mentality might have been, the other boss might have been like, I'm gonna not show emotion, so maybe they'll go out and try to impress me as like, press the dad who's not gonna give you the pat on the back. So, Tony Khan is giving you the pat on the back, and I think that's the greatest thing ever for both brands.
I think the best way to describe it is like, one, I think the former place, if you will, like demanded perfection, right? And it didn't matter what curveballs were being thrown at you. There was just very stoic energy of like, all right, this is what we expect out of you, do it. And if you don't do it, you get ripped a new one. Like sometimes it's like, okay, cool, we understand problems happen, but like there was never that high energy. And Hunter was the exception to that, so I will say that. But coming into like beginning, you pumped, you excited, every match he's there. He's in the huddle with everyone. I'm like, where'd you come from? I feel like he's just teleporting backstage, because I'll like leave one area and like see him talking here, but some kind of way he's doubled in front of me. And I'm like, how you were, but like he cares, and he shows outwardly that he cares, and it's not demanding perfection. It's like, hey, you go out there and do the best damn job, and if it's perfect, I'm happy. If it's not, I'm happy, and I'm just excited that you're here like willing to put your body on the line for this company. And that's the type of energy. So it's like, all right, I'm gonna go put my body on the line. Let's go. But like the energy, the aura backstage, it's so different. It's so positive. It's just everyone wants to help each other. Everyone is just excited to be there, right? Which is weird because I'm not used to that on any level. But it's just, it's so exciting. And I just remember like hanging out in the ring one day before the show started, and I'm just like watching everything, and like everyone has smiles on their faces. There's people calling a random, like doing like random wrestling stuff. They're like, hey, I got this idea, blah, 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 blah. Hey, I want to try this, blah, 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 blah. And it's just like, no one is wrestling each other on the show by any means at this time, but everyone's just having fun and enjoying each other's company, which is like bizarre. Bizarre, because I came from a place that was so extremely structured.
Right. And it's great to hear you're having fun, and clearly everyone else is having fun backstage too. Two more questions. One is, when you made your debut and you came backstage, who was the first person there to greet you and say like, why don't you tell me?
Nyla Rose. I've known Nyla, and maybe I'm showing our age here. I've known Nyla since I was 18, 19 years old. We wrestled on a show in Memphis together, and I hadn't seen her in so long. And like when she had gotten signed to AEW, Leva Bates, who's a mutual friend of ours, like she was videotiming me. She goes, hey, someone wants to say hi. And I was like, oh my God. So we hadn't really seen each other that much in person. And she was like, she came over, she like shoved me. She's like, why didn't you tell me? And I was like, I didn't want to spoil the surprise. I'm so sorry. And she like gave me a big hug and like chunked me around. She's like, don't you ever do that to me again. I was like, well, I'm here now, I can't.
Right, I can't do this again twice. It's
yeah,
one,
like
Ruby
trick. Ruby was there, like Tony was there. Like it was like so many of my friends were there, 2.0, like, oh, so many people, like, I don't know, it was just a blur, and I was just happy. And like some people were like, I didn't know, like Athena and Jade was right there, like, and she was like, welcome, and I'm like, hi, I'm here. Thunder Rosa was like, I knew, but I'm happy you're here. Like, I knew, and I knew you weren't going to tell me either, but I'm happy because me and Thunder had actually driven a couple road trips together. Just everyone seemed like happy for me to be there, or at least outwardly that was it. So like, I was like, okay, I'm being welcomed into the club here. It was awesome. Like, I don't know, like Nyla really was like, I thought she was gonna hurt me. She was like, hey, why didn't you tell me? I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
Are we still friends?
Yeah, but like I said, I'd known Nyla forever, and so she was like really upset. She's like,
well, at least she didn't hurt you. All right, you're still here, intact. You're still. Please, she can't do it again. She can't hurt your feelings again. Okay.
Yes.
One final question before we wrap this up. What are your goals for the year? Because we're already midway through, and you signed with AEW. Now you got this friction with Jade on TV. Is your goal the championship?
Of course. Who wouldn't want that beautiful TBS championship? I think for a very long time, I haven't been in a major feud on TV. And a lot of naysayers are out there, and constantly, like, I'm trying to prove everyone wrong that I belong here, and it's not Ember that's here, it's Athena. It's a whole different character. It's an unfiltered moveset. And I'm just very excited to like earn everyone's trust again, not only as a character outside of the ring, as a performer inside the ring. So Jade is more of a challenge than just a match for me. And I'm hoping to just prove to everyone that not only that I belong in AEW, that I'm going to strive here and elevate myself, help elevate the women's division that's already doing their own jam. Like, that's not for me to say, because they're already on the climb, on the rise, and just show the world what I'm really capable of doing. And in the process, showing them who I am as a person. And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, it's more than just a match. It's more than just a feud. It's the first time for me to show the world that Athena is here to stay. Athena is ready to kick ass, take names, destroy baddies in the process, take Jade down a peg or two in the same time, kick Stokes in the face, all the jazz. But like, it's time for the women's division to be set on this map, and hopefully I can help do that and be a part of what is already probably one of the best divisions in the whole universe.
Of course. Well, AEW's Athena, I'm so happy you signed with the company. Clearly you had a fun experience that day. Wrong hotel, soldier's room. Oh, go to this room. Now we're going to hide here. No, hide here. No, hide here. It was like a game of hide and seek with you, but nobody spoiled it.
Yes.
It happened. So very good for you three fans who are in the coughing fit of a lifetime inside the elevator. I love that story, and I hope people lob on to that part of it more than anything. Like, yeah, she hid by coughing on you. And it worked.
Yep.
She's the most unhealthy cough I've ever heard in my life. But Athena, thank you so much for being here on NBC's 10 Count. I've been Steve Fall. She's been Athena. Check out AEW Dynamite and Rampage. Folks, have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time. Bye.